Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone. A while. This semester is kicking my booty academic wise and me just trying to find time for things. I love every single thing that I'm a part of, but it's all starting to catch up to me a little bit, but it's okay. But today, it has almost been a whole month since I've been 20. Which is absolutely insane. So I thought I would do a video of 20 things that I want to do in my 20s. And we'll also make it a little get ready with me because I'm getting ready for the rest of the day. So, without further ado, we can dive into the inner minds of Avery Cloud and identify everything that I want to do in my 20s. I genuinely have just come up with this list over the last month. It's random niche things, and I don't think any of them are super unattainable, which is how I kind of like to do my list. Some of them are silly, some of them are a little more serious, but I think it's something we can all do. I think the inspo for this is Phoebe Buffay and Friends when she had a list of random things that she wanted to do before she was 30. So maybe I can keep doing this every new decade of my life, which is crazy because I know when I was 10 years old I couldn't make this list, but honestly I feel like at 10 years old your list is all like, oh, I want to turn 16, drive a car, all the things that you're excited to do. I think all of mine are niche, but in a good way, so I'm excited for us to get started. The first thing that I want to do in my 20s is I want to dive bar hop. I know that sounds super random, but there's only one technically dive bar in my college town. But I just want to go to a series of dive bars and not be the only bars around. Not clubs, only dive bars. Which I do think that dive bars have become slightly performative apparently, but I don't care. I think they're cool as fuck and I want to do it. The next one is I guess I want to get engaged in my 20s. I don't really care so much about getting married in my 20s, but having a nice rock on my finger seems nice. Having a nice man in my life. I'm not someone that cares about being married. A lot of people have life plans, which is great. Have a life plan for yourself and they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna be married by 26. I'm okay with getting engaged later in my 20s, but as long as it's in your 20s, because I've seen things where people are like, as you get older and you're one of the last people to do things, people in your life not saying it won't make it as exciting for you, but if you are 32 getting engaged for the first time, sometimes that's people's second time getting engaged and people don't really care as much the second time, so they may not care about your stuff. It was a really sad video that I saw about that because I don't think that should be an exception for anybody by any means, but I do think that that is a societal pattern, so I don't want to be too out of the loop where nobody would give a damn, but the people that care about you would give a damn. The next one is learn a new language. I don't want to be fluent, but I at least want to know a little bit of both. Languages in mine I think are just the pretty simple ones of Spanish and French. I think there's a lot to be found within those good things, so those are definitely ones that I want to explore in my 20s. And by the time I turn 30, I at least know. I at least order for myself at in France or something. That's all I want. I want to go on a brand trip. I have 80 subscribers and 300 followers on TikTok, but you know what? I think they're cool. I don't really care about being an influencer. It's not why I do this. It's not why I have make the videos that I make, but I think that would just be fun to do. Not the chart trip by any means, but just something fun to say oh, I went to a brand event. who knows. I'm also like gonna be working in PR, so maybe I will end up at the brand events just on the other side, which would still be really dope too. Random, but I want to see a Magic Mike show. I'm going to London for study abroad this summer. I don't, because I'm really super extremely excited about it. So I think me and my friends are definitely gonna go see Magic Mike. I think that, I don't know, I just go back to like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and how they all like freaked out about being there. But I feel like that's something like every woman should watch. I don't know, it's just fun. Especially when you're not, I guess if like you're a married woman, I don't know, but while you're not married, I want to live by myself in this economy that might seem a tad bit out of reach and out of our horizons, which is so sad to say, because like one of the things, a lot of people romanticize being a teenager, but all my life I've really romanticized being in your 20s, and a lot of the things I imagined for myself was living in one of those loft apartments where there's exposed brick and high beams. I want that so bad, and I don't really care. I don't know where I'm ending up after college, but I just know like I want to live by myself at some point, because people say it teaches you so much. Because even like next year I have my own room, but I'm still living with 2 other people. And then like the rest of your life you're never gonna be alone, which is insane, unless you like choose not to get married or something. But relatively, one way or another, you end up not being alone the whole rest of your life, which is utmost insane to me. And I feel like I just need to have, I don't want those developmental times, even if it's just like 2 years I live by myself before I start my life with someone, that taken away from me for like financial reasons. So that one up in the air. Let's see how this economy is looking in the next 4 years, I guess I would say, because I definitely want to live by myself in my early 20s. I want to read all of Jane Austen's books. Damn, I'm blanking if I have read any of her books, but she appeals to women in a beautiful way, and I think there's a lot to learn from her books. And I've been wanting to get more into classics. Haven't started a classic this year, but I've been really proud of my reading progress, so I feel like that's something that I need to celebrate. I'll probably do a video of what I read in January and February, perhaps, because I feel like I've read some good books that I really want to dive into. But I do want to start incorporating classics. I have been getting more into literary fiction, so I feel like that is a really good gateway for me to get into classic books, because I just don't want to get in a reading slump. My worst fear right now is a reading slump and stopping like what I've worked like so hard to train myself to do. I can't go back to that life, to that war. So TBD, that might be a late 20s kind of thing. I just saw somebody's bridal shower be like laces and love stories. I love that. Like, you either brought like some very pretty classy lingerie, emphasis on classy, and then, or you bring a book and you bring a love story, which I think is so freaking fun. Might be stealing that for if I ever get engaged in this lifetime. I want to visit an old library, one of those ones in like the one in like Austria, where it's like so old, fully Beauty and the Beast style, and make that a whole excursion. Even if I just see like, I don't know, like Oxford's library or something. Like, there's so many, like my library in my school is pretty. I won't lie, but I do want one where I can actually like look at the books and it's not just all educational things. But that one in Austria is absolutely beautiful. I've also seen people getting married in libraries. I think there's one in like Chicago or something that people are getting married in. It's absolutely beautiful. I want to go a trip by myself. I did put a solo trip in my 2026 kind of video. I didn't make a video about 2026, but in my like bucket list, I guess, resolution / bucket list, I kind of do both. But that would just be like me going to Dallas or something. I want to go like on a trip, which again, unfortunately, with the world that we live in, that may or may not be possible for me. It kind of just depends on the circumstance, but at least I want to go to like, I don't know, like Oregon or something, you know, something where it's more low-key, like I don't have to go to Spain or whatever. But I guess like study abroad's kind of an alone trip because I don't really know anyone that's going, and it's not like I'm going with friends, but maybe I'll count that. I don't know. Going on a trip alone / study abroad. I'm really excited to be doing study abroad. I think I've watched a lot of YouTubers in their time when they were in college, and they say that it's some of like the best times of their life. I know, like, I think they did go on a semester one, and mine's only 3 weeks, but that's just kind of what my college offers, because if I were to go for like a whole semester one, I would get like really behind in school. But now that I'm going on it, I'm ahead in school and I can graduate a semester early, which is super cool. So yeah. The next one I have is I really want to publish a book. This one I think is the most offlandish thing that I have on here. It might be slightly unrealistic. It doesn't have to be a nonfiction book. It can be like a memoir. Memoirs are really popular right now, and I honestly like listening and hearing what people have experienced in their lifetimes. But either that or even just like a collection of poems. I love writing poems. I've honestly started to get back into that because I forgot how much I truly love it. Just a second, I'm spraying my setting spray. Anyways, but even if it's just something so little, like just kind of making that happen for myself, because I know a lot of people start out like posting, publishing a memoir, and then furthermore going into kind of the spaces that they want to go into. I don't know what space. I always saw myself as like a sweet little like YA romance writer, because those are just stories that are so feel good, and I think YA has definitely become a lost art, because some books that I am reading versus this YA, I'm like, this really isn't. So with that being said, I would love to dive into any of those spaces, but I just want something published. In one of like my career paths, I do have book publishing as some way that I would love to go. I think it's really cool. I'm hoping books don't get like banned before I can get into the space, but I really am interested in that kind of realm, or just like any publishing kind of realm in general. I want to get a big girl job. Hopefully I get a big girl job before I turn 30, but again, the way that this job market is, I don't know. I'm having trouble trying to find an entry-level college job in my college town, but my college town's pretty small, so maybe that's why. But a lot of them are all like, we want experience, or it's a lot of grad students that have stayed behind enrollment, which is totally okay. But so there's a lot of older people working more kind of college jobs, so that's something that I've been internally struggling with, if you wanted to know updates on my career path. But I have an interview for a job today, but I want a big girl job. I don't want it, because I know like in your 20s you kind of hop from job to job until you find your place. I want to finish my job hopping by the time I'm 30, I would say. Is that extremely unrealistic? I don't know. Just honestly, any job, I'll take it at this point. I want to solidify my hobbies by the end of my 20s. I think it's super fun to experiment with so many different hobbies and likes and interests, and I just want to make sure Because 20s are all about finding yourself. It's a lot of soul searching, so I want to make so part of my soul searching is hobbies, and I just want to be done with those by the time that I'm 30. And when someone asks, what are your hobbies, I won't just say like, oh, I'm trying these certain things out. I can list them and I can tell them every single thing about it. I want to get a dog. I really want a dog so bad. I wish I could get like a college dog, but our lease does not allow it. But I genuinely, I want a dog so freaking bad. So that's definitely in my future for my 20s. And then this one might be insane, but I want to find like my lifelong style. I think I have a pretty distinct style. Like anytime I'm like shopping with my friends will be like, oh, this is so Avery. But I definitely am always experimenting, which is the point of fashion, and that's what you should do, is constantly experiment. But as you get older, I want to be able for somebody not to say, oh, Avery may wear this, Avery, that is Avery, you know. That might be interesting, but just kind of spending my 20s experimenting, finding everything, and then by 30 I'll be running the show, knowing exactly what I want. This one's random, but I want to slow dance to jazz music. That one doesn't seem too hard to find, but I've never really slow danced with anybody anymore or before, because I'm from Texas, so it's all two-stepping, like at dances and stuff, so no one really just like swayed back and forth and just enjoyed each other's presence. In a musical setting, I also didn't really date in high school, so even if I wanted to slow dance with someone, I wasn't gonna do that in high school. I want to ride a scooter drunk. This is when we get a little weird, like those powered scooters where you like pay $1 and you like go around. I think you can definitely get like a DUI from doing this, so like proceed with caution on this front. I'm not saying you need to be like blackout drunk, but just like a fun little tipsy on a cool summer night riding a scooter, preferably in a big city. That sounds magical to me. I want to do it. I want to check it off my bucket list. I want to have a successful girls trip. In college, girls trips are really hard to do because trips in general in college are just so hard to plan. Like this spring break, I'm literally going with just one other person, because if you involve more than like 2 people, then it just starts getting so very insane, and I just did not have the mental capacity for it this year. As people get older, they kind of start figuring out, because you just have such a mix of like people that want you to like figure out for them, and then you have like some leaders that are like, okay, let's do this and this. It's just all over the place. But by the end of my 20s, I want to have a successful girls trip. Nothing goes wrong. The most elite vibes ever. Wine drunk 24/7 and living our best lives. I definitely think that this can be achieved. It's just all about like a maturity as you get older, and then so me and my girls, I think we could settle ourselves out and we can finally get it done. I want to find a charity to pour into. I think that is very, not only it doesn't show a lot of humility, but it's very grown up, and something that I always thought about, like grown-ups, like successful grown-ups, I always feel like they pour into a certain charity, especially like within women, and they're advocates for it. I think that that's very beautiful, and that's something that I want to be a part of. And then right now, like currently in college, I am in a nonprofit organization that we help the children of like Oklahoma, and that's something that is like truly so beautiful. So just kind of finding things throughout my 20s, just exploring my options, and then finding like one that I lifelong, that every single month that I can give X amount of money to, I think is super, super beautiful, and a very grown-up thing to do. I'm not a grown-up now, but in 10 years, I will be a grown-up. I will have people looking up to me, and I just want to make sure that I'm as seasoned as possible. And I want to get real diamond jewelry. Right now, I'm a little bit scared of getting super expensive jewelry, just because I'm out and about doing goodness knows what at all hours of the day, and things fall off, break so easily if you're not super careful with them. So honestly, like, the most expensive things I get are from like EP jewels and stuff like that. Like, my necklace is probably the most expensive piece of jewelry that I have on right now, and then you stick to eat Newtons because they don't tarnish and they're just super easy to work with and things like that. So by the end of my 20s, I'm gonna have some sort of diamond piece. I'm not saying I need a whole like 5-piece set, but like a tennis bracelet or some real diamond earrings, or like a real diamond like pinky ring or something. I think would be super cool. And then finally, my last one is go to Europe. I am doing this summer, which is super cool, so it'll be awesome that in my first year of being 20, I'll get to cross something off. I don't know if this is rigged, because when I made this list, I knew I was kind of going to Europe, but again, it just refers to like that story in Friends. Like, do you want to hear about the story of like backpacking in Europe in my early 20s? Like, I think every young person needs to travel, see the world, and especially go to Europe, because they have such a similar and different culture at the same time, and I just want to absorb all of it, because there's just so much to learn from the places and people around you. Well, that is everything that I want to do. 20 things I want to do in my 20s. I keep getting mascara on my fingers. So, I hate that I'm ending this video with one eyelash on, one eyelash off, but you know, that really shows the vulnerability of this get ready with me and my list. I've loved 20 so far. 20 is by far a million times better than 19. I think you get different opinions, but everybody for sure can say that like 19 is pretty damn horrible. My mental health has already just been clear, which is so weird to say. Like, I've just been a lot more clear-minded as I turn 20. I turned 20 January 26th, so I like starting the new year as a new age. I think it's super fun there's pros and cons of having a January birthday, but that's one of my favorite ones, is I get to start literally a new year as a new age. So thanks for coming along to this video. I really enjoyed making this list. I enjoy talking to you all the time. I will be back. So sorry. Trying to balance everything going on in my life. Spring semester goes by in 3 clicks, which is so insane. And I got so much going on, but I don't want to forget about my people, because literally opening up my camera today, I just felt a million times more like myself. So I will not abandon y'all. This became a super long video. You know me, I can yap for years and years and years. So I hope you all have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing month. If you were in your 20s right now, I hope that you do this list too. It's just super fun, and it was really interesting to see what all I came up with within a month of me being 20, and all that I'm excited for me to do and kind of prove to myself that I'm capable of doing before I fully enter adulthood. I don't consider a true adult until you turn 30. Like, yes, I will not be acting like a hooligan until I turn 30, but I think that you are prime adult age at 30. So I gotta live while I'm young. But I love you all so much. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, do all the fun things. New faces, old faces, I'm so happy to have you, and I'll catch you on the flip side.